Add this to your morning coffee. The blood pressure results will surprise you. Have you ever felt that surge of panic when your blood pressure monitor displays those dreaded high numbers? Or maybe you've experienced that throbbing headache that seems to pulse with every heartbeat, the tightness in your chest that makes each breath feel like a struggle, or that constant ringing in your ears that never seems to go away. I know exactly what that's like. As a fitness coach who's worked with hundreds of clients battling hypertension, I've heard countless stories about the silent fear that accompanies this condition every single day. The worry when you climb a flight of stairs and feel your heart racing more than it should. The anxiety when you have to miss family gatherings because your medication makes you too tired to participate. The frustration of carrying pill organizers everywhere you go, always wondering if you remembered your morning dose. But what if I told you there's something you could add to your morning coffee that could help bring those numbers down naturally? Something so simple yet powerful that many of my clients have been able to reduce their medication dosage within weeks under their doctor's supervision. Today, I'm sharing a morning ritual that takes just 5 minutes, but could transform your relationship with hypertension by combining a specific blend of natural compounds that work synergistically to support healthy blood pressure. This isn't about replacing your medication or ignoring your doctor's advice. This is about giving your body additional tools to support your cardiovascular system naturally. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share exactly how to prepare this coffee addition, the precise measurements that make it effective, and the science explaining why it works so well for most people with high blood pressure. This might be the most important information you'll hear this year for your heart health. Before we dive in, I'd love to know if you or someone you care about struggles with high blood pressure. Drop a comment below sharing your experience, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to receive more content that could help transform your health one simple habit at a time. Let me start by explaining why targeting your morning routine is so powerful when dealing with hypertension. Research shows that blood pressure naturally peaks in the morning hours, between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. This is called the morning surge, and it's when many cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes are most likely to occur. But why does this happen? When you wake up, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to help you start your day. For people with hypertension, this natural process can push blood pressure to dangerously high levels. Now, most people reach for coffee first thing in the morning, which can temporarily raise blood pressure even further due to its caffeine content. But what if we could transform that potentially problematic cup of coffee into a therapeutic tool instead? That's exactly what this morning ritual accomplishes. We're not asking you to give up your beloved coffee. Instead, we're enhancing it with powerful natural compounds that help counteract the morning surge and support healthy blood pressure throughout the day. The foundation of this morning ritual is a special blend of 3 powerful ingredients that work together to support your cardiovascular system. The first ingredient might surprise you: cinnamon. But not just any cinnamon. You need Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, which contains compounds called cinnamaldehyde and cinnamic acid. These compounds have been shown in multiple studies to help relax blood vessels, allowing them to widen and create less resistance to blood flow. In a 2013 study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine, researchers found that participants who consumed just half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon daily for 12 weeks saw an average reduction of 5 points in their systolic blood pressure. What makes this even more impressive is that the benefits were most pronounced in people who had the highest blood pressure to begin with. But it's important to use Ceylon cinnamon specifically, not the more common cassia cinnamon you find in most grocery stores. Cassia contains higher levels of coumarin, which can be harmful to your liver in large amounts. Ceylon cinnamon has a lighter color and a more delicate, sweet flavor profile that actually complements coffee beautifully.
The second ingredient in our blood pressure coffee blend is raw, unfiltered cocoa powder. Now, I'm not talking about the sweetened chocolate powder you might use for hot chocolate. I'm referring to pure, unsweetened cocoa powder that's rich in flavanols. These cocoflavanols are powerful vasodilators, meaning they help your blood vessels relax and expand. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that participants who consumed high flavanol cocoa daily experienced an average reduction of 4.7 points in their systolic blood pressure and 2.8 points in their diastolic pressure within just 2 weeks. The reason cocoa works so effectively is that it increases nitric oxide production in the endothelial cells that line your blood vessels. Nitric oxide is your body's natural blood pressure regulator, signaling your blood vessels to relax. As we age or develop certain health conditions, our natural nitric oxide production declines, which contributes to hypertension. Cocoa helps restore this critical signaling system. Additionally, cocoa contains magnesium, a mineral that many Americans are deficient in and which plays a crucial role in regulating blood pressure. Just 1 tablespoon of high-quality cocoa powder provides about 27 milligrams of magnesium, which is roughly 6 to 8% of your daily needs. I want to take a moment to ask something important. When was the last time someone truly listened to your concerns about high blood pressure? Not just checking your numbers during a rushed doctor's appointment, but really understanding how this condition affects your daily life and emotional well-being. Many of my clients privately share how isolated they feel, like no one really comprehends the constant weight they carry, that silent fear that accompanies every heartbeat. If this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments below. It could be as simple as, I've been fighting hypertension for X years, and what bothers me most is why. Sharing your story not only helps me create more relevant content for you, but it also shows others watching that they're not alone in this struggle. Sometimes just knowing someone else is going through the same challenges brings immense relief. And who knows, your experience might be exactly what someone else needed to hear today to find hope. Now let's continue our conversation about how we can transform this reality together. The third and perhaps most powerful ingredient in our blood pressure coffee blend is ground cardamom. This aromatic spice has been used in traditional medicine systems for centuries to treat hypertension. But modern science is just catching up to what traditional healers have known for generations. A 2009 study published in the Indian Journal of Biochemistry and Biophysics found that participants who consumed just half a teaspoon of cardamom powder daily for 12 weeks experienced an average reduction of 36 points in systolic blood pressure and 20 points in diastolic blood pressure. Those are remarkable results for a simple spice. Cardamom works through multiple mechanisms to lower blood pressure. It contains high levels of potassium, which helps balance sodium levels in your body and relaxes tension in your blood vessel walls. It also has natural diuretic properties that help your body eliminate excess fluid and sodium, similar to how some prescription medications work, but without the side effects. Additionally, cardamom is rich in antioxidants that reduce inflammation in the cardiovascular system, which is a major contributor to chronic hypertension. The compounds in cardamom also help improve circulation by preventing platelet aggregation, the clumping together of blood cells that can impede blood flow. This creates a natural blood thinning effect that helps reduce the workload on your heart. Now that you understand the 3 key ingredients, let me walk you through exactly how to prepare this blood pressure coffee blend. You'll need 1 cup of freshly brewed coffee, a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of raw cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cardamom. It's important to use fresh, high-quality ingredients for maximum potency. I recommend buying organic whenever possible, as these spices can absorb pesticides during cultivation. To prepare the blend, first brew your coffee as you normally would. While it's still hot, add the Ceylon cinnamon, cocoa powder, and cardamom. Stir well to ensure everything dissolves completely. If you normally add milk to your coffee, I recommend using unsweetened almond milk instead of dairy, as studies show that plant-based milks don't interfere with the absorption of these compounds the way dairy proteins sometimes can. However, avoid adding sugar or artificial sweeteners, as they can trigger inflammation that counteracts the benefits of our blend. If you need sweetness, a small amount of raw honey or a quarter teaspoon of monk fruit extract provides sweetness without the inflammatory effects of processed sugar. For those who don't enjoy coffee, you can achieve similar benefits by creating a morning tea using these same ingredients. Simply steep a bag of black or green tea, then add our 3 key ingredients while the water is still hot. Green tea offers the additional benefit of L-theanine, which has been shown to help reduce blood pressure on its own. The combination of L-theanine with our 3 key ingredients creates another powerful synergistic effect. Some of my clients who are particularly sensitive to caffeine prefer to use rooibos tea as the base, which is naturally caffeine-free but still provides a robust flavor that complements our spice blend nicely. Let's discuss timing and consistency, which are crucial for seeing results with this approach. For maximum benefit, consume this blood pressure coffee blend within 1 hour of waking up, when your morning surge is at its peak. This helps counteract that natural spike in blood pressure that occurs as part of your body's wake-up process. It's also important to consume this blend every single day. The compounds in cinnamon, cocoa, and cardamom have what scientists call a cumulative effect, meaning their benefits build up over time as they accumulate in your system. Most of my clients begin noticing subjective improvements within the first week, such as fewer headaches, less dizziness, and more energy. However, measurable changes on your blood pressure monitor typically take about 2 to 3 weeks to appear. The most dramatic improvements usually occur after about 8 to 12 weeks of consistent use, so patience and persistence are key. I want to address a question that many of you are probably wondering. Are there any potential side effects or interactions with medications? As with any natural approach, it's essential to discuss this with your healthcare provider, especially if you're taking prescription medications. That said, most of my clients have been able to implement this morning ritual without any negative effects. There are a few specific situations where caution is warranted. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin or aspirin, the natural blood-thinning properties of cardamom could potentially enhance these effects. Similarly, if you're on ACE inhibitors or calcium channel blockers, the vasodilating effects of cocoa and cinnamon might amplify their effects. This isn't necessarily dangerous, but it might mean your medication dosage needs adjustment. That's why it's crucial to monitor your blood pressure regularly and keep your doctor informed about any changes you're making to your daily routine. Never adjust or stop your medications without professional guidance, even if you see dramatic improvements in your numbers.
Another common question I receive is whether this approach works for everyone. While the majority of my clients see significant benefits, individual results can vary based on several factors. Genetics play a role in how your body processes and responds to these compounds. Some people have genetic variations that make them more responsive to certain natural interventions, while others might need higher doses or different approaches. Your baseline diet also matters. If your overall diet is high in sodium and processed foods, the benefits of this blood pressure coffee blend might be partially offset by those dietary factors. That's why I always recommend implementing this morning ritual as part of a broader approach to managing hypertension, which includes reducing sodium intake, increasing potassium-rich foods, staying physically active, managing stress, and getting adequate sleep. Age and duration of hypertension can also impact results. Generally speaking, people who have had hypertension for shorter periods tend to respond more quickly to natural interventions than those who have had the condition for decades. However, I've had clients in their 70s and 80s who have been managing hypertension for over 30 years who still saw the meaningful improvements with this approach, so age and duration aren't absolute limitations. Let's talk about how to track your progress effectively. The key is consistency in measurement. I recommend checking your blood pressure at the same time each day, ideally before taking any medications and before consuming anything other than water. Sit quietly for at least 5 minutes before measuring, with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. Take 3 consecutive readings about 1 minute apart and record the average of these 3 readings. This gives you a more accurate picture than a single measurement, which can be affected by momentary fluctuations. Keep a simple log of your daily readings along with notes about your sleep quality, stress levels, and any other factors that might affect your blood pressure.
This information becomes invaluable when working with your healthcare provider to potentially adjust your medication dosage as your natural approaches take effect. Many of my clients use smartphone apps to track this data, which makes it easy to spot trends over time and share information with their healthcare team. Now, let's explore how to enhance the effects of this morning ritual with complementary lifestyle practices. While our blood pressure coffee blend is powerful on its own, its effects can be amplified significantly when combined with other evidence-based approaches. The first complementary practice I recommend is morning movement. Research shows that just 10 minutes of gentle physical activity in the morning can enhance blood flow and further reduce blood pressure. This doesn't need to be intense exercise. A brief walk around your neighborhood, some simple yoga poses, or even dancing to a few favorite songs can be sufficient. The key is to get your body moving within 30 minutes of consuming your blood pressure coffee blend. This timing is important because the compounds in our blend enhance nitric oxide production, and physical movement helps distribute that nitric oxide throughout your cardiovascular system more effectively. The second complementary practice is deep breathing. Just 3 minutes of controlled breathing can reduce blood pressure by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which counters the stress response that constricts blood vessels. A simple but effective technique is called 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this cycle 4 times. This breathing practice pairs beautifully with your morning coffee ritual, creating a few moments of mindfulness that set a positive tone for the day while further supporting healthy blood pressure.
The third complementary practice involves morning hydration. Many people wake up slightly dehydrated, which can cause blood to become more viscous and increase pressure in blood vessels. Drinking 16 ounces of water before your blood pressure coffee blend helps ensure optimal hydration and enhances the absorption of the beneficial compounds in our blend. For even greater benefits, you can add a small pinch of unrefined sea salt or pink Himalayan salt to your water. While this might seem counterintuitive if you're concerned about sodium and blood pressure, a small amount of high-quality salt in the morning actually helps balance electrolytes and supports proper cellular hydration without significantly impacting blood pressure. The minerals and unrefined salts, particularly potassium and magnesium, actually help counterbalance the effects of sodium. Let me share some real-life success stories from my clients who have implemented this morning ritual. John, a 64-year-old retired teacher, had been managing hypertension for over 20 years with multiple medications. After 3 months of consistently using our blood pressure coffee blend, his systolic pressure dropped from an average of 158 to 139, and his doctor was able to reduce one of his medications by half. Maria, a 51-year-old accountant with a high-stress job, saw her blood pressure drop from 149/94 to 132/85 within just 6 weeks. She also reported sleeping better and having more energy throughout the day. Robert, a 72-year-old with resistant hypertension that hadn't responded well to conventional treatments, experienced a modest but meaningful reduction from 175/98 to 162/91, which, though still elevated, represented significant progress for his particularly challenging case. These are just a few examples among hundreds, and while I can't promise identical results for everyone, these stories illustrate the potential of this natural approach when implemented consistently. An important aspect of managing hypertension effectively is understanding how different foods and activities interact with your blood pressure throughout the day. After your morning ritual, certain dietary choices can either support or undermine your efforts. Foods particularly beneficial for blood pressure include leafy greens like spinach and kale, which are rich in nitrates that convert to nitric oxide in your body. Berries, which contain anthocyanins that help reduce blood pressure. Beets, which are perhaps the most potent natural source of dietary nitrates. And fatty fish like salmon, which provide omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and lower blood pressure. I recommend incorporating at least 2 of these blood pressure-friendly foods into your lunch each day to maintain the benefits initiated by your morning ritual. Conversely, certain foods can cause rapid spikes in blood pressure and should be minimized or avoided, especially in the hours following your morning ritual. These include processed foods high in sodium, foods with added sugars that trigger inflammation, alcohol which initially dilates blood vessels but can lead to elevation in blood pressure later, and excessive caffeine from additional coffee or energy drinks beyond your morning cup. Beyond food, certain activities can help maintain the blood pressure lowering effects of your morning ritual throughout the day. Brief movement breaks every hour or two are particularly effective. Just 60 seconds of movement, like walking in place, doing a few squats, or stretching, can prevent the stiffening of blood vessels that occurs with prolonged sitting. These micro-movement sessions help redistribute blood flow and maintain the vasodilation initiated by our morning ritual. Additionally, brief relaxation practices scattered throughout your day can prevent stress-induced spikes in blood pressure. Even 30 seconds of deep breathing or a minute of mindful awareness while waiting for a meeting to start or standing in line can make a meaningful difference in your daily blood pressure pattern.
As we approach the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize that this blood pressure coffee ritual is not a quick fix or miracle cure. It's one component of a comprehensive approach to managing hypertension naturally. The power lies in its simplicity and sustainability. Unlike many health interventions that require significant lifestyle overhauls, this ritual easily integrates into a routine most people already have, their morning coffee. This simplicity makes it something you can realistically maintain for years, allowing the benefits to compound over time. Remember that consistency is crucial. Even the most powerful natural intervention won't produce lasting results if used sporadically. Commit to this ritual daily, track your results patiently, and work closely with your healthcare provider to monitor your progress and make any necessary adjustments to your treatment plan. I also want to acknowledge that high blood pressure can have multiple underlying causes, and while this morning ritual addresses several of these mechanisms, it may not address all of them for every person. Some cases of hypertension are primarily driven by genetic factors, while others are more related to lifestyle, stress, or specific nutritional deficiencies. This is why personalized approaches are so valuable, and why I encourage you to view this ritual as one tool in your toolbox, albeit a powerful one. The beautiful thing about natural approaches is that they can be customized and combined to address your unique situation. Many of my clients find that once they master this morning ritual and see initial improvements, they become motivated to explore additional complementary approaches that can enhance their results even further. If you've stayed with me until now, you probably understand how challenging it can be to live with high blood pressure, the constant worry, the medication side effects, the dietary restrictions that seem to take some of the joy out of life. I want you to know that you're not alone on this journey. Our channel was created specifically to build a community of support for people like you who are seeking natural and effective ways to care for their cardiovascular health. Each week, we share new discoveries, simple recipes that naturally help control blood pressure, and answer questions that doctors often don't have time to address during short appointments. If this content resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. This way we can walk this health journey together, one step at a time, without rushing, but with the consistency your heart deserves. I don't promise miracles, but I do guarantee honest information based on serious research and the experience of those who have achieved real results. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you in our next video where we'll continue our conversation about living better even with hypertension. Your heart appreciates every small act of care you devote to it today. And remember, implementing this simple morning coffee ritual could be the first step toward reclaiming your cardiovascular health and experiencing life without the constant shadow of high blood pressure hanging over you. Just imagine waking up with more energy, enjoying activities without worrying about your blood pressure spiking, and potentially reducing your dependency on medications with their accompanying side effects. The power to transform your relationship with hypertension might be as close as your next morning cup of coffee. Your future self will thank you for the 5 minutes you invest each morning in this simple yet powerful ritual. Until next time, here's to your heart health and to living life fully without limitations.